Welcome to Rome's Rebellion. I am back, your host, of course, Rome. We got a great guest with us today, man. This dude he be wilding on the TikTok, man. He be shutting motherfuckers down, shutting niggas up. Like I don't really see no debate, bro, really coming for his neck, because you know what I'm saying. He that good. Well, we got Rathbone. Rathbone. Am I saying that right?
That's right. Thank you for having me,
man. Thank you for coming, because today was this week has been a hell of a week for me, and I'm sorry that we had to reschedule a couple of times, but I just had to get some things together and recover. You know, as you know, I got into the altercation with the police. I still got bruises on me. I'm still kind of recovering from that, but
it's wild.
It's no big thing, you know. That's just come with
the life of
being a revolutionary, you know.
That's right. That's right.
But
we're glad that you're back
this afternoon, man. How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing good. I mean, you know, all things considered, that the world's on fire, but you know, just trying to follow the news each day, and I usually stream as well in the afternoons, and just sort of do political agitation work every day, making.
Can you tell people where they can find you at?
Yeah, of course. I'm, you know, on all the platforms to varying degrees, but mostly TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I just started, like I said, streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel, and yeah, I just, you know, I kind of bounce between doing short form content that's like sort of sketches and like written out, and then also just streaming the news, sort of long form, where I'm taking people through what's happening. So yeah, I stream on Twitch every day, just Rath_bone, and my TikTok is Rathbone Makes Music, because that's how I started out, was just making music, and yeah.
That's how it always starts off, everybody. And that's one thing, you know, I have read a tweet saying that you know, everybody would be an artist if they had the time, you know, if they had the money or whatnot. But we have to put, you know, what we want, you know, our goals and our lifestyles aside, to make sure that somebody, you know, to at least speak up on these things that's happening, you know, whether it be Palestine, certainly, Congo, you know, Afghanistan, wherever the hell it may be. We all got to sit, you know, because we got to sit this shit aside, because if their life isn't right, how can we say, you know what I'm saying? And we're no better than the people that we criticize. We sit by while children are being bombed, women are being raped and kidnapped and whatnot. And we're just like, oh, well, my life is here. And, you know, I can't care about that because I have a family. But like, you know, everything, you know, and these same type of people that say that type of shit, they believe in things like karma or Jesus. You know, I'm not a big fan of none of those things, but if you believe in that, then, you know, some way you believe that all life is connected, you know?
Right.
So if all life is connected, then how does this not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, all life is precious. Then why, you know, you don't care about these people. Well, you know, I'll take it a step further. These people are being bombed with our money, with our consent. You know, we're complicit in this. And that is what is truly outraging, the spinelessness, the cowardice of our own government. And a lot of people, you're right, they're just completely sort of complacent, withdrawn, apathetic, and about, you know, it just feels hopeless that you can't really change anything. But college kids don't know that. You know, they're staging, you know, sit-ins, or, you know, occupying public spaces, voicing their discontent. And I just, yeah, I feel like we need more of that, obviously. But, you know, everybody's got their own capacity to, I feel like the point that I think really agitates me is not just people that are, have no capacity for this. You know, they have their own problems. I get that. Everybody's sort of dealing with trying to survive, you know. I mean, just like myself, I'm trying to make it to the end of the month, you know, paying rent, and everybody's got their problems. They got families, and I understand that. But it's the people that double down on their conceitedness, their arrogance, and their, you know, just unfeeling, like they just do not, they want these children to be massacred. They're bloodthirsty. It's just despicable, you know. And I feel like more often than not, those are the people that I'm unfortunately engaging with online, when I'm, making TikTok videos or doing a live stream. I mean, there are just so many people that are just dyed in the wool, just like pro-Israeli, and just like I don't know how you can be that in 2024.
I mean, man, one of our hosts here, RBN Nick, he like to say America is one of the most, propagandized countries. And our people is propagandized from birth. And
Absolutely.
I had to do some deprogramming because once I had to look, like I look back at the movies as a child that I watched, and it's always a Russian enemy, or somebody from the Middle East, somebody with that accent.
Yep.
And it so happens that same people with those accents and living in those areas, we are bombing today. We are, taking their land, taking over the government, stone coups and whatnot. So and whether we like it or not, these naysayers, the people who are pro-Israel, the people who are pro, NATO and whatnot, we still have to teach them, even if you don't want to teach them. Just by teaching around them,
right.
You still doing your job. You still your the message is still getting out there. So, that's why I say don't worry. I always tell people, because they always get fatigued sitting here debating with people, yelling at people, arguing all day on the internet. Like, teach around these people. Like if you know them in real life, or if you know like your family members that are pro-Israel, take their children, teach their nieces, their nephews, change life around, because that's the only way they're going to be able to change their minds. Kind of like how, your racist ass grandma didn't like black people until she saw the baby that your sister had, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Changed.
Got to change people's lives around them, change their worldview. And it's not going to come easy. It's a lot. We have a lot to do, especially as Americans being here in the heart of the empire. I feel like we have a lot to teach, and a lot of people.
Yep, it's not an easy task, but it's the least we can do. I mean, I feel like we are in some cases more, especially my own personal experience being a white male and living in America is, I have extreme privilege, and it's just, it comes to a point where I have to do something. Like I have to use this privilege for, something good, because it's far too often being used for something negative. But yeah, I like the idea of just making examples of people, and I'm not going to, I know I'm not going to convince someone who's rabidly racist or fascist or a Nazi or anything. But if you can pick them apart, pick their argument apart, and, you can throw in a few personal insults there, but if you have an actual argument, you can decimate them, and then you might influence other people around who are just simply observing, that maybe they haven't formulated their opinion, but you can shame these people because they deserve to be shamed, I think, especially Zionists, and, people that are openly racist, all these people that we need to get rid of this part of this ugly part of humanity, I think.
Yeah, we need some reprogramming in here.
Reprogramming, that's right. Yeah. I know, but you're right. Being in the United States, it's like we have to do a lot of deprogramming, like you were talking about with the movies. It's like now every time I watch a movie, I'm like, who is this in service of? Like
military.
What am I being fed? Yeah, the military, the Hollywood industrial complex, basically. The Hollywood military industrial complex. And it's the more that I look back, now that I'm, a communist and I can see things in like a Marxist viewpoint, like I can look at it and I can see it for what it is. And I can't appreciate art that's, proudly capitalist or promoting that sort of capitalist propaganda. It just irks me. And I just,
this is why I'm glad you said that, because I have an analogy, and this is why a lot of people don't like country music nowadays, because it don't hit the same how it used to. These people used to be like, we're gonna unionize against our bosses, and we're gonna take over. Racism is bad and shit like that. Smoking weed, fuck the man. And now it's just
Willie Nelson.
Right now it's just, I love my truck and my dog, and we're gonna drink on this dirt road. I love America. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who the hell is these? What the hell happened to rednecks? And this is the the deprogramming that happened. Like, you know, when rednecks, I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you as a white man, but I'm just saying to the crowd and whatnot. But rednecks came around, you know, they wasn't some, oh, I love America. No, they was fucking socialist, communist, unionizing,
right,
fucking going to war with their bosses. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They were class conscious. Yeah.
And now rednecks is just some conservative fucking white
patriotic
dude who wave a battle flag.
Yeah. It's shameful.
They got us too. Look how they did the Black Panthers. You know, they disabled them. You know, this is why it's very hard for people to get firearms in California. So,
yeah. It's I feel like you're speaking a little bit about the culture war, and people divide along these, you know, whether it's racial or ethnic or social or cultural issues. And I think it's important to remember that we are, you know, defined first and foremost by our material conditions, our socioeconomic living conditions. What do we all do as you know, for a living? Well, if you work for a living, you're in the working class. It's as simple as that. If you have to labor to provide for yourself, then you're not a capitalist. So I don't understand why you're, you know, defending your overlords. In other words, I don't understand why you're defending a political economy that does not like you. I just want you to hate capitalism as much as it hates you, because you're a worker, you know? So it's like, at least have some, like have a spine, and like, you know, like unionize, like, you know, I think we need more people walking around understanding the class war, understanding, you know, the class-based society that they live in, because I don't think a lot of people do. They get bogged down with this cultural, these cultural issues, which are important. But I think that what my point is that the overlying base foundation is, what do we all do? What is our relation to the means of production? What's our relation to the productive forces, the economy? And I like to go,
just because you're working class don't mean you can't be a class trader like police officers or
absolutely. You know, well, that's true. Yeah, all cops are bastards because they all uphold like supremacy. Yeah.
Absolutely. You should have heard me talking shit. Man, I hope somebody recorded that shit somewhere and that shit just pop up online, man. That shit was so funny.
Well, you know, and it's just like the cop is, as you were telling me before we got on, it's like the cop was like a typical chud, you know, typical like Zionist sort of like makes it personal, just doesn't like you. And so he wants to make fun of you for whatever, make some sort of fun of your personal characteristics or something. And the dude was bald. He was making fun of your hair, and he's bald.
Like, you want to take it there? That's how I knew it was insecurity. I'm like, because I've been cutting hair since I was 11, man, and I know hair. You know what I'm saying? That's why. People telling you to get your beard back. They say grow your beard back.
Yeah, I know. I just shaved. I've been getting that a lot. People don't recognize.
Go to a black barber, man. Go to a black barber.
I know. $40.
Spend the $40 and get
a right. I need it.
But yeah, man, it was so funny. And when they tried to get me to the car, it was just the police it's just so weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happened. You know, like maybe I'm just older now. I'm growing into my grown man strength, but it shouldn't take 4 men to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. And then this one other short dude, he get mad and he just tackled me. And I turned around, I'm like, who the fuck? And I bust out rolling, though. It's another short dude, shorter than the dude I was talking about earlier. And I'm not trying to make fun of people height. Shout out to my short kings. But in that moment, and I was high as hell, I was like, I'm getting jumped by some short people. That's crazy.
That's the thing. Right. It's like it's not a problem if you're short. It's not a problem if you're bald. It's just a problem if you're ignorant. You know, if you're like, you know, what is your functional role in society? And I feel like that's how we judge cops. It's not about how good of a family member they are. It's what functional role do they serve. And in this case, they serve the property rights of the rich. They don't serve the people. And you know, it's all class. They're an instrument in class war. The armed guards of the ruling class. You know, so
we got I'm talking
fuck the police.
A bit. We got 273 people. That's what's up for a stream that we ain't even really promote, because I should have promoted this better. Obviously, y'all know my week was not going right Twitter is down. I should be back on there pretty soon. I actually got a Twitter. I just don't want to use that one for that, you know. So I'm gonna be back on that.
It sounds like you're getting murked like left and right with your Twitter accounts. You just got to keep.
Oh yeah, man.
Moving target.
That was my claim to fame, man. They love taking me down because I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. I'm gonna say it, man. Somebody
a badge of honor when you get taken down by a fucking fascist social media app, you know. Badge of honor
about free speech, and they be like, "Well, oh no,
oh, not that kind, no."
Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah, we just want the white guy.
Fucking black Marxists, like y'all should have. We tried to kill y'all niggas off in the fucking 70s.
Y'all didn't get the memo. You're supposed to. You're not supposed to be alive.
A lot of people hate when I say this, but Americans are not only dumb, they are weak. Because ain't no way this man should still be in power,
right?
Or anywhere near in office,
right?
American people, speaking to the American people, he should be locked up. But we treat war criminals like celebrities, and I used to talk about that. How, you know, I used to work for Bernie Sanders, and a lot of Bernie Sanders people treated him like they don't celebrity worship, quote unquote. You won't find them, you know, quoting Beyonce or whatnot, but their Beyonce is Bernie Sanders. Their Beyonce is AOC, you know, and they celebrity worship. And when I mention this, they get mad at me. I'm like, don't get mad at me. You the one who got the, you know what I'm saying? You started this sort of trend. Your whole name is like Bernie Sanders something, you know what I'm saying? Bernie something, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all celebrity worshiping.
Well, I feel like we've hopped off the Bernie train, right? I mean, by now it's like
it took a lot of people a long time to get off that fucking train, man. Like, even some of my friends, you know, I had turned them on to Bernie. They was like, why are you doing this? Why are you saying this about Bernie? Blah blah. I'm like, man, look, I used to do I did some security guard work. I met Bernie a couple of times.
Oh, really?
We talked. I did some. I remember we was in the back of this. We was at. They shouted me out actually on when it was here in Detroit on Cass Tech at this school.
Oh, cool.
And we was talking. He was talking to us before he went to the crowd. He like, how far left should I go? I'm like, nigga, you in the middle of Detroit. Like, nigga, you in the middle of Detroit. Go hard. You on the east side of Detroit. Go hard, bro. He said we're gonna go after Democrats and the Republicans and blah blah. But when it came down to it, you know, because Bernie Sanders is an independent, quote unquote. Right. But when it came down to it, he was like, yeah, I'm bowing out. Because this is the pandemic. He bowed out. And he like, we got to save democracy. Bro, you was just talking to us for 2 years straight, talking about how we don't have a democracy, how we have to fight for this, and that. And now you're like,
well, didn't you know whoever handles the Democratic convention, like, wasn't that just like a big sham? Like he was by far the most popular candidate, I think. Yeah, you know, and he didn't get the nomination.
Like, come on, man, Hillary Clinton, like come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I figured this thing out. I wanted
another war criminal.
Yeah, she is a war criminal, a war hawk. You know, and,
right.
You know, they killed Gaddafi, dude. That shit.
Yeah, I was about to say Libya. She was like, "Yay!" She had some famous quote where she was just like,
"And we saw he died."
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah.
Man, I'm like that's
ridiculous.
Fucking witch. Yeah, I think this is what I wanted to. This one.
Okay, well, the International Criminal.
No.
And I.
Okay, well, the International Criminal Court prosecutor has issued an arrest warrant for you and your defense minister. That's a rogue prosecutor. Amnesty International has accused you of war crimes. That's a rogue NGO. Human Rights Watch, rogue. Oxfam, rogue. The OCHA, rogue, and apple juice hating. The International Court of Justice has just ruled that it is plausible that you are committing a genocide against the Palestinians. It's a kangaroo court, and it's also very rogue. Thank you. South Africa. They're a banana republic. The United Nations. They shredded their own charter. Right now, the International Court of Justice is issuing a verdict on your case. The trial was a sham. Just this week, Spain, Ireland, and Norway all recognized Palestine. They're all rogue countries. Virtually the entire world recognizes Palestine as its own state. Nuh-uh. That's 146 countries. Misinformation. Even the U.S. government has admitted that you have not done enough to protect civilian life in Palestine. Everyone's gone rogue. Everyone's gone rogue. Doesn't that mean that no one's gone rogue and you are rogue? What? There you go. Yeah, the nuh-uh defense. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I'd like to present to you the nuh-uh defense. That's what I've learned, that Zionists have, two arguments. This is their 2 points. The first one is no, you're wrong, nuh-uh. And the second one is, I'm going to make fun of your hair, or I'm going to make fun of something, some sort of personal characteristic about you. It's either like, no, you're wrong, or you're stupid.
And this is why I'm like, I don't know if Israel, like, we say it a lot, but a lot of these people just don't see it, man. Israel is losing. Israel is losing across the board.
Yes.
They're isolated, and America is going to go down with this ship. Yeah. And I just don't know. Well, I know what a crazy man with power would do. You know what I'm saying? At his death, he's going to try to take everybody else out. And this is what it's looking like Israel is setting up to do. Take everybody else out that's not with them, you know, because I was really shocked when I was seeing people recognizing Palestine, you know, and I was like, oh shit, this is really, you know what I'm saying, the ICJ, the ICC, you know, the sanctions and shit like that. I'm like, damn, the world is really turning. Then China speaking up more. So yes, they are very isolated. Yeah, and I believe. Well, I want to get your thoughts on this. Yeah. Do you see Israel going down in our lifetime? You know, because let's say millennials, we live to be 60. So do you see them living outliving our lifetime?
That's a really good question. I think it's going to steadily decline for the next coming years, and I do think it'll eventually no longer exist. And I also think that's trending with the waning power of the U.S. empire, which is also on its decline. I don't know if I can't really predict geopolitical events and human events, like, you know, when is Israel going to be a rump state? But I think it will be, and I think it'll probably take years.
Yeah.
But I think Scott Ritter said this, and it sort of resonated with me. He's the UN weapons inspector that's given a lot of interviews on this, and I think he's pretty knowledgeable about it. But he thinks that he says that, you know, it's going to become economically unviable to live in Israel. I mean, it's just nobody's going to want to do business with Israel.
He a great friend of the show, and what I see, you know, about a world uniting, it's going to be a lot of people who's going to be upset to the point that their politicians might get held accountable, as we've seen in Mexico. The Israeli embassy got burnt the fuck down. Like the people burnt it down, and I believe there's going to be more pressure on these politicians to stop doing trade, because you can say that, well, we are, you know, we recognize in Palestine, and you know, we're gonna follow the rules of the ICJ, the ICC, and arrest this man. But are you gonna stop that trade? And I believe it's gonna be very hard for these people, because as I don't know if you've seen, but you probably did. There's a lot of Israelis out there going to fucking Germany. Like, there's a lot of Israelis out there going to Germany.
They're fleeing. They're like fleeing their promised land, going to Germany. They should have gone to Germany to begin this. Germany should have paid the price for it, not Palestine, right? After the Holocaust. I mean, why did they offshore? Just typical capitalist logic. They're going to offshore the costs. They're going to put these Jewish people, just send them to the Middle East. We'll let them colonize brown people's land. It's typical settler colonial logic, right? It's a good point. I hadn't heard. I mean, I knew that they were fleeing. I mean, Israel is not safe. You know, it's so weird that they're citizens aren't safe. They're the chosen people in their promised land. Why can't they be safe in their promised land? Pretty weird that they're starting wars with all the states around them.
Right?
You know?
Why would you want to start war in the promised lands? Right?
Yeah,
I'm an atheist, you know, and
uh-huh.
that's one thing
So
I've
are
never got from
Zionists.
these people. Yeah, right.
That's the funny part is that most of them
like you are the chosen people. Why are you killing people? Why are you harming other people? You should be above, you know, everything that's human. You should move godlike or above us. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You're a God chosen people. You shouldn't move like humans. Sin shouldn't even be. But these people are psychopaths and they want to see people bound.
Yeah, and what better way to
this next video I got lined up here.
Go ahead.
With you speaking on Biden.
Oh yeah, genocide and Biden.
I'm going genocide.
If I-State invades our town, I am not supplying the W's. Okay, I-State has invaded our town. Nuh-uh, it's not a ground invasion. That's not what you said. You said you'd stop supplying W's if I-State invaded our town. Bombing tents and firing munitions from gunship helicopters constitutes an invasion. Now, is the attack on our town a red line or not? Yeah, it's a red line. Red line, go up. We hit pay dirt. Come on. So that's what you meant by red line. Look, Jack, there aren't any major ground operations happening in our town. They're all done by the air. Well, of course the diaper forces don't invade. When do they ever? Their cowardice is legendary. Look, the laws of war make clear. Babies get blown up by missiles and not guns, so we're good. But it's materially exactly the same thing. How many charred bodies and headless babies do we need to see before you'll stop? We're still gathering information. If I-State invades our town,
and that shit boils my blood because it'd be funny. Should be funny, but then you look at it like, oh my God, like this nigga, right?
That's exactly what. Right, John Kirby went up on went up to the podium, the State Department spokesperson, and said, "Well, it's not a ground invasion. It's not a major ground invasion, so it's not a red line." Well, when has my point is. Just like I said in the video, I guess, was that, when has the diaper force ever gone in with a ground invasion? I mean, they love to just bomb indiscriminately from afar. I mean, because there's absolute pussies, and, that's why you had that. I love that clip of that young Palestinian girl from like 20 years ago. She was talking about the IDF and how their cowardice is legendary and she's not afraid of them. And it's true that they're absolute cowards. I mean, there's, double tapping 3-year-olds in the head from 300 yards away. Right. I mean, there's no justification for this. They need to be just. I mean, in no uncertain terms, they just need to be destroyed. Like the Israeli apartheid state needs to be dismantled completely. And yeah, Huggies versus Hamas. That's funny. They got to have their depends. Israel has the right to depends itself. Hello.
It's my daughter, clearly.
Oh, okay.
But man, of course, like this is why I had got into it with one of my friends. He was he went into the military, and I was like, this is why you always get your asses kicked, bro. Because I forgot what training he had went in for, but I was like, that's not gonna stop no motherfuckers from North Korea. That's not gonna stop no motherfucker from like this is why y'all get your asses whipped because y'all don't have no ground game, bro. And every time y'all do go on the ground, you get your asses handed to you. Then y'all come back home crying like, oh, I got my fucking leg blew off. Salute me. Like, nigga, you ain't bro, ain't nobody tell you to do that shit. We told you not to go over there and fuck with them niggas. They put your dumb ass front line. You got blown the fuck up. And now you coming back looking for empathy and sympathy. You ain't about to find it here, bro, because why are you over there?
Right, in the first place. And they're mostly like Americans. They have dual citizenship. They're there. This is an important point, I think. I don't forget who made this point, but these IDF soldiers are like reserves or whatever. They're like it's a conscription army, right? It's like they're conscripted to be, they're not like, Navy SEALs or like US military grade. Like these are kids and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you just heard in the news they sent some IDF soldiers to go rescue the hostages, and they became hostages. So it's like you guys are epically inept,
They need to stick to dancing on TikTok and leave killing for the real soldiers, man. This is why they like, oh my God, if the Houthis and the like, y'all can't like they was shitting their fucking pants, and they was shitting their pants.
They are
when that invasion when those drones was coming through, and it might have took a while for them to hit, but they know what can happen, and Israel can be wiped off this planet in a matter of minutes.
Absolutely.
A matter of minutes. But the thing is, if everybody is as crazy as you, there will be nobody left. Or if everybody's crazy as me, there will be nobody. We all just fucking kill each other. We got to show some type of restraint. If they was just to wipe Israel off, that know there's going to be a blowback from America. America is going to have a blowback from Russia. Russia and China is always going to, of course, it's going to end up having this domino effect that nobody wants. You know, so you know, and I'm glad everybody was calculated. Nobody, well, people was hurt, of course, but with their bombings, there was calculated to hit the targets that they wanted to hit. They just didn't go out and just bomb people, bomb themselves, or you know what I'm saying, shoot themselves with tanks like the IDF does.
That's what they do. Yep, the Hannibal directive. I remember, you know, Iran basically retaliating, you know, tit for tat. I absolutely love the Houthis. Okay, I like them for this reason. They openly call for America to, you know, they want an open engagement, a direct confrontation with America. They're not afraid of the U.S. empire, and the reason being is that for, you know, the past decade almost, they've been, sorry, it's a lot of lightning and thunder. I don't know if you can hear that, but for the past decade, they've been bombed by Saudi Arabia using U.S. manufactured weapons. And they're like, fuck, you know, fuck Saudi Arabia. Like, you know, America, you have to hide behind your proxies, you know, to bomb us. Well, now that the Houthis are bombing the Red Sea, they've got, you know, actual American, you know, planes bombing them, or American strikes. And so they're like, finally, you know, and I love that they have seen everything. They've been bombed and starved for, like, what else can you do to a people? You know, Yemen before Gaza was labeled the worst humanitarian crisis on earth before October 7th. Now it's the Gaza Strip, of course. But I mean, this is just this is U.S. foreign policy at work. And I think you're right. As soon as the United States pulls the plug on Israel, it's over for Israel, you know?
Because everybody sees, I mean, it took a while, and it took a lot of planning and getting together, you know. But one thing that I do love about America is that it brought the world together. America literally brought the world together, and now, you know, we see the bully for what he is. You know, he's self-conscious. He got abusive parents at home. You know what I'm saying? Like we completely toxic. We got something on him, and we see NATO as the paper tiger that they actually is. Because look how they are being treated by Russia. You know, and they can't even they are. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Russia can't even take down Ukraine. Like, no, they're not fighting Ukraine. They are fighting NATO as a whole. Everybody, damn near every country, even countries that's not aligned with NATO, sent weapons and money. Russia is kicking y'all asses collectively. And if y'all getting y'all asses kicked collectively by the Russians, you're not fucking with the rest of the world. I'm sorry. I don't see America going up against. Girl, how much ice do you need? Dang, you throw me off. Stop that.
You could handle it.
Stefan, stop trolling.
Stop trolling. Family man.
Yeah, that's my son. You over there trolling. I know you over there smiling. But yeah, I don't see America going up against China and winning no war, even if it is like, I don't see it. You know, even with the results that we have here, you know, and they have done war simulations. I think it was a war simulation. It was America versus China, and we lost like 15 out of 15.
What was conducting this simulation?
It was some article I read. They kept doing. They was doing some. They do war simulations against country to country, and we lost every time against China. So there's no scenario that we are coming out as victors, and this is why we are being punished by our elders. You know, our leaders. I call them our elders because they are
same thing. They're all old as fuck.
We are being punished because they are losing their power. We have to die because they won't have the control that they want.
Yeah, they're getting desperate. You know, they know that they can't outpace China. China's economic model is like far surpassing the West. It's growing every year. It's going to overtake the United States economy, the U.S. dominated global finance system, I guess I should say, and it's only a matter of time. So what does the empire do? You know, what does the empire that has a monopoly on violence with 800 plus military bases across the world, with all the nuclear weapons it possesses and the aircraft carriers and the nuclear submarines and all this stuff? What do you think that they're going to do as they see their power diminish, as their pocketbooks get smaller? I mean, it's not painting a good picture, you know. But I welcome the rise of China.
If they don't want to give the wealth to their grandkids, then
no, not even, because there's not going to be grandkids. There's not going to be any planet left for.
These people are like that. Like I said, they are punishing us for them losing power, and they are to blame for losing the power. Like, you got to think about this. Think about how stupid capitalism is. And that's why I was talking to some young dudes, and I was like, you know, capitalists will sell themselves out. They would sell you the formula, or you know what I'm saying, to
sell you the rope.
Them. And it's so stupid because that's an authoritarian. You think I'm about to give you, mama? You know, like, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, we have the guns, we have, you know what I'm saying, the weapons. Where if you don't want to take it that way, look how they sell off our manufacturing, and then they sell off our manufacturing to China, and then. Like, oh my God, China is over. Like, what the fuck? You sold the fucking shit to China.
Yeah. These capitalists will, you know, have they'll betray their home base. In other words, as long as they can exploit more profit, they will go to. There's no spot on the map that they won't go to get more profits. And you know, patriotic, you know, shows of patriotism. Shows of patriotism be damned. They don't give a shit. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is capitalism. It's going to eat itself. It's like, you know, it's like they sell you the rope that you're going to use to hang it. I also heard of an interesting point that went like this, that, you know, we're sort of like, it's sort of like a neo-feudalism is like the sort of the era that we're in. It's like neo-feudalism. It's feudalism in a sense that we're, you know, sort of like serfs. But the difference between a serf and a worker today is that we're actually like educated. We know how to work the means of production. Like, we can't go back to 400 years ago to being serfs, because we have class consciousness now. We know how to operate the means of production. And I think that's sort of touching on what your point, which is like capitalists are training you to work their means of production, but that's also giving you power, and you know how to like dismantle the system as well, the superstructure. Well, getting back to the idea,
that's why they'd be like, oh fuck, them niggas trying to unionize. Oh, stop that.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got to make talking to co-workers the most likable thing in the fucking workplace. This is why I don't like the memes of people saying, I don't talk to my co-workers and this and that. Okay, some co-workers, they trash. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them snitches. Some of them, you know what I'm saying? But
traitors.
You gotta talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all work with each other. You know what I'm saying? I remember I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond like 3 years ago. And I asked, me and this one girl got hired around the same time, and I was like, how much do you get paid? And this one lady was like, oh, you can't talk about that. You're gonna get fired.
They don't want you.
I said, what? No, they tell you that.
Yeah.
But did you actually read the rules? I wish a nigga would fire me. You know how much money I'm about to get? I was like, anyways, how much money did you get? Okay, we worked the same hours. I was like, shit, I got 5 something, you know. She was like, I only got 3 something. I'm like, what the fuck? So she went and complained.
You know, they don't want you to know about that.
Man, that shit is crazy, man. That workplace.
It's always, you know, the more I learn, it's like that's the eternal fucking war is between capital and labor, owners and workers. Workers are always trying to get that surplus value back, and capitalists are always trying to take it away. And as soon as a worker catches on to something, or they, they organize, they're coming for this. They know what, these owners are smart. They know what's going to happen. They're going to come for their property. They're coming for that surplus value, or we are, as workers. And so they want to tamp that down. And that's why there's so much money being spent on union busting and, fracturing the labor movement. And it's been working quite well for the past 40 years, 40, 50 years now.
Yeah. Everything every bubble got a bust. Every bubble has a bust,
That's right. That's right.
This ain't no different. So I want to get on this weird motherfucker here, man, because we was already talking about him earlier. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
It was this one.
If they'll do this to Israel, we're next. This group tried to come after our soldiers. They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed. So at the end of the day here, what I hope to happen is that we level sanctions against the ICC for this outrage to not only help our friends in Israel, but protect ourselves over time. They have destroyed the notion of complementarity. They have misled people.
Hold on. I just want to say, I wonder how crazy people think, how crazy people look at our politicians. Like, this nigga is a psychopath, right? But how stupid and how crazy they think the citizens are that these people are elected. You know what I'm saying? These people are put in places of power, and we just let them. Like if I was on the outside looking in, and I got it like a glimpse. If I was like from Congo or something, and I just got a glimpse of, you know what I'm saying, this man Senate. If I was from Afghanistan, knowing that y'all were in based on a lie, killed fucking millions of people are still being born and, affected to this day because of the shit that we have done.
Yep.
And you like, huh? You talking about the war crimes?
Right. And he's still defending it, even though it's internationally recognized as a supreme international crime.
That's funny.
But yeah, but no, they rely on your ignorance, and he's just completely bought and sold, I'm
gonna wind this back a little bit.
I thought he was talking about Hamas at the first part. I was like, oh yeah, because Hamas is just everywhere. Hamas is infiltrated. He might as well be.
I got this fucking tunnel in my library, man.
Oh shit!
I swear, I'm waiting for the perfect time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I successfully built the tunnel to Palestine from Detroit. Man.
Watch out, the IDF will come bomb it.
I want to get some insurance first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Israel, we're next. This group tried to come after our soldiers. They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed. So at the end of the day here, what I hope to happen is that we level sanctions against the ICC for this outrage to not only help our friends in Israel, but protect ourselves over time. They have destroyed the notion of complementarity. They have misled people in the United States Senate about their intention, and they shall and will pay a price. Mr. Secretary, I appreciate what you said. It is now time for us to act.
Yeah, absolute batshit insane Lindsey Graham quote.
That shit is
like
crazy.
How much. I really want to know how much money this guy receives from AIPAC.
Man, it's part. I think they receive more than what we are seeing. I think that shit is just what they are like. That's that little bullshit. We don't see the houses. We don't see the cars. We don't see all the shit that they can write off on an LLC, whatever the fuck it might be. Because some people be like, "Oh, you only took 100 and some thousand." Like, shit, bullshit.
Yep,
bullshit.
He's saying this at a time when Gaza looks like Pompeii, like it's just reduced to ash and rubble, and there's just, bodies upon bodies, mass graves, dead women and children, and this is where he finds himself, defending the genocide, basically, because absolutely shameless.
And the reasoning is so telling. We're next for what? What did you do? What did you do?
Yeah.
For the ICJ,
I'm sorry. Wait. Who created the ICJ, the ICC, the UN? These are all arms of the United Nations, right? Do you know who was the largest, most consequential actor on the world stage that forged these entities? It was the United States after World War II. These are our institutions that we formulated. It's like it's like calling the World Bank or the IMF like treasonous for like not, you know, administering a structural adjustment program that we approved of or something. It's just like, it's wild. Like the idea that, you know, the UN is just full of is a Jew hating organization. It's like the UN fucking created the state of Israel in some sense, the partition plan, you know? So and I love when Zionists try to, you know, because I quote a lot of international law, because I think that that's a very valid point to make in this day and age. You know, this is post World War II. We prosecuted the last great international crime of the Holocaust. We want to prevent genocide. We have formed genocide conventions. We formed the UN. We forged the UN Charter. All of these precedents were set because of that. And now we just want to, you know, say, oh, they don't matter. It's not, you know, that they're biased, they're Hamas, they're Jew hating, they're anti-Semitic. It just makes no sense because, and I think, you know, as I'm going off on this rant, but I always like to go back to when we're talking about Israel is the overarching framework of an illegal occupation. And that is the context of what, you know, explains everything that comes after. And that's international law speaking. So when I bring up, you know, a document like United Nations Security Council 242, which condemns Israel, and that was the world consensus. It's what has been voted on year after year by the international community, always gets vetoed by United States and Israel. And, you know, it's not like this stuff just, you know, October 7th is not year zero. This has been, we've been condemning Israel since 1967. And if you want, so here's the next point is that if you want to, you know, cite the UN partition plan, well, if you want to cite the UN because the UN created the partition plan for Israel and afforded the majority of the land of Palestine to the Zionist settlers, then let's also quote the UN Security Council 242, which is actually more recent and, you know, actually explains more of the quote unquote conflict. It was, you know, they started a preemptive war of aggression. Israel did in 1967, and they acquired territory through war. And then subsequently they occupied it. They settled it. They built walls around all of these things. They transferred parts of the civilian population. They made refugees out of the, you know, indigenous population. All of these things are war crimes, you know, and it's been like this for decades before I was even born. So I just don't think that there's any legitimacy to the Zionist argument. And all you got to do is just cite international law and the historical record, you know?
No.
No.
It's so crazy because, you know, seeing Lindsey Graham say stuff like this, you know, John Kirby, and it just reminds me of a spiraling man, of a man like back against the wall. Everybody in the room is like, why did you say that? Like, imagine being at a party and just saying something off the wall, and even the fucking record, the record stop.
Yeah,
you know, everybody
turn their head.
And this is what it looks like. It looks, you know, America back is against the wall, and now they have to be on defense from everybody. Now we're gonna put sanctions on you, put sanctions on you, put sanctions on you.
Yeah.
Okay, we can play the sanction game. And what happens when the big dogs come in and want to play the sanction game? You know, because you usually don't use the same tactics of your enemies, or you don't want to use the same tactics of a psychopath. You know, because these same people who have lived under sanctions, their leaders that have their country sanctioned, they know that it's not going to hurt. Sanctions on Russia is not going to hurt Putin. That nigga is going to be riding in the freshest cars, going to always have the cleanest suits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's going to hurt the people. You know, and like we was just explaining with Iran, you know, having restraint, and what happens when people just like, you know what, all right, well, all gloves are off. We can play the sanction game. We know you guys need us more than we need you. You know, the world is blacking you guys out. BRICS is taking over.
Yes.
So
that was my next point, is that the sanctions don't work. They're realizing they're powerless. I think you're right. I think the United States thought that the sanctions were going to really hurt Russia. They even blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. I mean, that's a war crime in and of itself. You know?
And they're going to sit around and turn around and say something about climate change.
Yeah.
My
Oh my God, the hypocrisy.
The
hypocrisy knows no heights.
I'm like, do people not know when they being smacked and spit on and stumped on? Like, they doing it with a smile, okay?
Yeah.
But you said you like some people really set their lives. Like we have the sunrise movement. I don't know if you know about these guys that call themselves socialists, I believe. They all for their environment and stuff like that, but they constantly endorse Joe Biden. Nigga, he blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, and now I think they endorsing him this year also.
It's so gross, dude.
Like you guys don't know when you're getting smacked on. You guys don't understand that you are being beat, and this is what I don't believe in, Stockholm syndrome because I know it came from a racist police officer, but there's got to be something like this. It just don't make any sense for you to sit here and defend a man who's bombing the shit out of countries. What the fuck does that to to the nature, to the animals? That's why I told people, like, you can't talk to certain people. I mean, racist white people. You can't talk to white people about human lives. You got to show them pictures of dogs and elephants. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them something that they don't give a fuck about.
They don't give
a fuck about the niggas. I'm telling you. Show them a picture of a blown up dog. Show them a picture of a homeless cat. This has to stop.
The fucking selective moral outrage of racists. That's why I always go back to the corporate duopoly. Okay, we live in a country that is controlled by corporations. They have captured the government. The capitalists have captured the government. They control both political parties. So it's two wings of the same bird. You need this political theater to induce consent among the masses, make it seem like, democracy is being hotly contested and there's a lively debate happening before your eyes. But meanwhile, it's 5 corporations in a trench coat, pulling the strings behind the scenes. And I think that's, this whole lesser than two evils, let's vote blue no matter who is, we slide further and further into fascism as our democratic president is, funding, overseeing, and conducting and minutely involved in the planning of an actual genocide for what?
Somebody actually said that. A black dude actually said that to me in real life. And I was like, dog, that don't sound like a cult to you? I was like, say it over. He said, vote blue no matter who.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Okay, say it over. Say it again. Vote blue no matter who. So no matter who. So if Donald Trump went in and just changed his fucking party over and started running under the Dems, you're gonna vote blue, right? Oh no, that's different because blah blah. I said, so hold on. You're telling me that you support Joe Biden as a black man in America? You educated, correct? I'm guessing. Yes, I'm educated. I got a college degree. I said, so how don't you know that this man is the, the writer of the crime bill? You know what I'm saying? All of these things. Like, okay, if you don't want to take it on, if you don't want to put it on race or what happened to our communities, let's talk about what happened all over. This is the same man that made it impossible for you to write off your credit card debt, your student loan debt, and he's literally toying it over your head like, yeah, bitch, I'm the nigga who did the shit, but I can make you, you know what I'm saying? Like, carry it over your head. Carry it over your head. And I'm like, you don't see that all the damage that this man has done in the 50 years of him being in office. You don't think that we can compare him and Trump? Like, you're right. And one thing, we can't compare him and Trump because Trump don't have a political report card like Joe Biden's.
Right.
He wasn't in these offices. He didn't write all these fucking laws. What he did was he just upheld the shit that you guys are already doing. Building a wall. Obama had a Muslim ban. Nobody talks about it. Same shit. Joe Biden was about building a wall. He's still funding.
It's. I always go back to the point of the difference between the Democratic and the Republican Party it is rhetoric. That's the only thing. When you look at the actual policies, the actionable policies, the material effects of what they're passing, legislation, all et cetera, it's always the same. It's virtually the same. It's virtually indistinguishable. So I don't think that there is a material difference between either case. So it's like, come November, what genocidal Zionist will you be voting for? I mean, they both represent the same people. And that's why I think you look to who, you know, who pays their bills, who got them in office. You know, it's cost something like $6 billion you need to raise to become president. Yeah. And studies have shown that if you raise more money than the other candidate, you're going to 9 times out of 10 get elected. It's, you know, we live in, you know, plutocracy.
And that's why they was really scared of the Bernie movement when they saw like, oh shit, these young people really raising that money. Bernie, you better tell them to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like tell them that this is all a game. These
Bernie was a threat.
Shit is real, you know. They like we thought it was real. Bernie Sanders behind the scenes, he playing his role, but they seen it as a threat. They know the younger generations isn't going for this, and it has been. We have, you know, we have steady seeing the number rise of socialism, socialists, communists, people coming out of nowhere. You know, young people openly socialist. You didn't see this back in my early days. Like people didn't even know what this shit was, and you know, this is a great thing. One great thing about kids, phones always been stuck to their damn hands. Information is always right there, and
that's true.
You know, you can always compare to what you have to what they tell you. So like. They tell me capitalism is the best system, but I don't have, you know what I'm saying, this and that, blah, whatever it may be. I'm like, no, that's just not clicking for me. So let me look up some other isms real quick. And that's how people get into, you know, being, you know, different religions, wherever the fuck it may be. But the information is there. I wanted to move on to the next segment and get your words on this, because I put a video out yesterday on Revolutionary Blackout. Let me see if I can look that up real quick before we get on that. Because man, you basically had the same. We basically said the same damn thing.
You said the same thing.
That's why I'm like.
Maybe I got it from you then. I don't remember.
No. No, this is this you dropped yours on TikTok. I think we dropped it around the same time. So
yeah,
great minds.
Are you on TikTok as well? Is Revolutionary Blackout Network on TikTok?
Yeah,
I gotta follow you guys. Okay,
yeah. I follow you. I follow you from that page. I follow you.
Okay, see, I only learned about you from Twitter, formerly known as X.
Yeah, but because I was like, damn. I was like, oh, this nigga got too many fans. I was like, I'm in a fucking crowd. Like, hey.
Sometimes I'm.
But my page is way smaller on there. You know what I'm saying? Because we was already big. Well,
it's weird, huh? It's like it's different. It's like for me, it's like. Twitter, I really barely have a following on there, and like for me, it's just like TikTok. That was the only page that I had that like really blew up, and I was just as shocked at it. But I wasn't really on any other platforms, you know. I'm slowly trying to branch out, and that's how I learned about you.
Yeah, I tried to. We tried. Like I'm gonna try to get back on TikTok, man, because I at first I was doing good, and then they took down one of my pages.
Let's go.
And this shit just took the steam out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't used to. Because like when I first started on Twitter a couple years ago, I used to do these 2-minute videos, just 2-minute videos. That's all they do. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Yep. I used to drop them bitches every day. But when you get to TikTok, it's a whole different formula. You gotta, you know, put music behind it. You gotta hashtag this, and it was like, oh shit, like. That's this is a lot of work. So
well, you know, my first TikTok, I've hated TikTok for years. My first account, I was literally just trying to share my music videos. Like I said, you know, I started out as a musician, and I was making political songs, and I would share them on TikTok, and I didn't have a following or anything, but they banned me anyway. And you know, it's like I was some small account, but you know, I can't, you know, show like 9/11 and talk about it or sing about it or whatever. So you know, some time passed, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna play the TikTok game. I'm gonna like make videos. I'm gonna speak to the camera, you know, instead of like being all abstract with like songs and stuff. So that's what I started doing. And it started to catch on, and so I was just kind of, you know, going with it, because since it's having some engagement, I'll keep talking about it. If it's getting through to people, you know, I want to keep talking about it, and just be fearless.
That's one thing I'll be trying to tell my boys. Like, you know, like I got friends that's rappers, and they damn near millionaires now, and I'll be like, dude, but you ain't nobody like on Twitter. So like, I got more. I'll be telling that shit like, bro, you got millions of fans across the world, but how I got more followers than you on Twitter? Like, if you can make it on Twitter, you can make it anywhere. You know, but it's harder. You know, it's harder to get people to focus on you and what you're saying, and whatever the fuck it may be, because Twitter is so fast, and you got different sides of it. You got the commie side, socialist side, DSA, black Twitter, racist Twitter now. So
oh yeah, that's thank you apartheid Clyde for that one. Don't get me started on apartheid Clyde.
Like, God, these niggas openly racist on this bitch now, but oh well. That's what.
There we go. And yeah, you got a good YouTube page.
Oh yeah. We've been working hard, you know.
That's good.
Damn, 3 points. Damn, that's a lot of videos.
That is. I've got like a couple hundred. You've got thousands.
Yeah, we've been out here for a minute.
Don't forget Nazi Twitter.
We got him, y'all. We got him. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. But is he going to prison?
Yeah.
The man can still become your president. So what did you actually get out of this? See, while you guys were paying attention to the stage and the puppets that was talking while they put on a show of political theater, the Biden administration just gave Ukraine the okay to use U.S. missiles on Russia. So we got him. We got him, y'all. But what did you actually get? Nothing. The man can still become your president, and you are a step closer to World War III. I wish you guys actually paid attention to what's going on and not what they are showing you. What they're showing you is what they want you to see.
That's why I didn't give a like. Let me get your thoughts, because I was gonna play this one clip from NSNBC, but they be hating on us and they be copyrighting our shit. How you feel about Trump being convicted of 34 fucking felonies?
Yeah, I went on TikTok. I mean, I don't really, for just a disclaimer, I don't pay attention too much to the domestic political theater, like you call it, political theater. That's what I call it too. It's like this little spectacle of things that look like, you know, things are happening. I don't try to get lost in it, but I did go onto TikTok and I heard the news and I saw some people making videos about it, and it just seemed like they were like, yay, you know. It's like, and I was like, I wouldn't go that far, you know. So I had to give my take on it, and yeah, I don't think it means anything. And I actually didn't. I learned something just from your video just there, because I didn't know that they okayed to use, you know, U.S. missiles against Russia in Ukraine. I mean, I'm surprised that, you know, that's
while the trial was happening. This is what people always say. Oh well, they using
work that in there.
They using Kendrick Lamar and Drake to distract us. Like, no, they don't need them niggas to distract you. They can use politics to distract you from politics. Because you people think that you are a part of a fucking team. You think that you are part of a fucking team, and all you gotta do is say something and do something. This nigga talking to you, hey, you know, they fucking up everything behind your back.
Yeah. It's so like a kid that being, I'm sorry, it's like a kid being like attracted to like a shiny object or something. You know, it's like they said flowery words and it looked like something had happened. And so you think that, you know, we must live in a democracy, but it's just, it's silly. Nothing is changing. You know, it's like this guy, you're like you said, like he still most likely will become president again. And, you know, nothing's going to change. So I just want people to know that, like, it doesn't matter who is president. Like, you know, what matters is exacting power over the actual economy, like as workers. That's like, I feel like we should be talking less about the political avenues for change and more about the economic avenues for change, and how, you know, that's where we can exact our power as workers. So crazy,
because them people agree with you, man. Because every time we criticize, whether it be Biden supporters or Trump supporters, oh, the president don't actually run the country, oh, he don't have this power or that power, and whatever the fuck it may be, right? There's always some type of fucking cop out. They always find some way, you know, wiggle out.
Oh yeah, we can't do it because we you know, we're trying to fight those Republicans in Congress. Oh darn! But that's also like the ratchet effect. You know, do y'all know about the ratchet effect? It's like the Republicans push everything to the right, the Democrats block everything back to the left, and we slide further into fascism. And that's how it works. And I think that's my point, is that, you know, stop thinking that this is two sides, like these two sides are arguing. It's like it's one thing, and it's designed to induce your consent, you know, and sign off on this.
I remember, oh man, I got into a debate with this DSA dude, and I made this nigga so mad. I'm like, dog, so why did Like, okay, he was an AOC stand. Biden supporter, Biden voter, not a Biden supporter. He say, I'm like, dude, why did Biden give more money to ICE than fucking Donald Trump? I thought that's what y'all.
Yeah.
I thought that was the fucking problem. AOC had on say abolish ICE.
Yeah, right.
Why did she agree with it? Why did she send more? Why did she send money to Israel? I thought she was anti-war. Oh, she is anti-war. The Iron Dome is like no. We don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't walk around in a plate of fucking armor and say, oh, I'm you know what I'm saying? Like, what a fucking sword and be like, no, I'm just.
By the way, just a comment on that. The Iron Dome is like historically bad. They're like historically inept. They're not even like, they rely completely on the United States. But yeah, and you know, another thing is Joe Biden has spent more money on police than Trump. You know, it's like what were we talking about in 2020 after George Floyd? Abolish, you know, the police or defund the police or all. It was a huge, you know, a huge outrage. And what does Biden do when he gets into? Well, now we got cop cities, propping up everywhere.
That's what I mean by using politics to distract you, because everybody was like, oh, well, if you passed the George Floyd bill, and I had to sit here and explain to these people. Did you read the fucking bill? Did you know that he was giving the police more money in that bill? So he used black pain.
Yep.
To distract you from the fact that he's about to give more money, billions of dollars, to the same people that we are fucking protesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, they don't need Kendrick Lamar. They don't need Drake. They don't need Beyonce or Taylor Swift. They have you. We gotta have you back. I want you back. I want you on a round table with RBN. Maybe this can be the start of something beautiful, man, because you know, awesome. not only, you know what I'm saying, not only, you know, are we uplifting people and stuff like that, you know, we got platforms that we can share off of one another. You in LA, right?
No, actually, I'm in the other LA, Louisiana. I'm in New Orleans.
That's even better. Well,
sure.
I got a gun club in Florida. I got a clinic in Boston, a clinic out in on Skid Row, a library here in Detroit. So, you know, maybe we can maybe I can get some people down together down with you if you want to do some mutual aid for the people of your community. It can be some
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you for asking me on today. I mean, I was thrilled to get the invite. So
yeah. Sorry for being late, man, but damn, the police, they got me good. I ain't gonna lie,
dude.
Man.
Don't even, fuck the police. And I'm just glad that you're home safe now and they're not fucking with you because they suck.
Yeah.
And
I was like, let me get from this library. They circling this bitch like sharks. They smell the bait. They smell the blood now. So
props to you though for like standing, you know, like not taking shit.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, like, I don't know, man. Like people, I show people what they want, but people don't know me, man. In real life, I would smack the shit out of a police officer, like, and it's gonna be shocking to you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say something. I'm just gonna smack them, you know, and they gonna be like, oh my god, you can't do that. They're gonna kill you. Blah blah. I'm like, oh, I am already dead. The shit that I like, you know, I'm already gone, bro.
Lucky
no matter how they take me, whether it be diabetes, whether it be a fucking bullet. I think I've done enough on this world for the people who follow me, the people who know me.
Yeah.
They can take off with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just repeating the things that I do. I'm just repeating the things that I say. But it's going to be up to you guys to actually do something with that. So I'm not fearing death. I'm not fearing, you know, what has already came. You know, my life took it from me. I'm a number. I have been in jail multiple times. This shit is going to come. You know.
Yeah.
You should live with no fear, and you should let no man or no woman or no human talk down on you. You should not let anybody put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I hate when these protesters be sitting there getting their asses beat, sitting there, you know, they got their face in the goddamn, like, you giving this nigga your face a pepper spray. If you don't flex this nigga, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no like, you know, or the people who do the sit-ins on the roads, and some people just come by and drag them. Like, if you don't get up and choke slam, motherfucker, what the hell is you doing? Stop this respectability politics. These niggas don't respect you. They running you over with cars. They spraying you with water. They spraying you with pepper spray. They hitting you with rubber bullets. Why do you? Why should you have respect.
Turn the other cheek. Right.
You're not Jesus, my mans.
Yeah.
You ain't Jesus. And even Jesus went in the goddamn church, was like, what the fuck going on? Flipping over tables, whipping niggas' ass.
Yep.
I don't even believe it, but that's the story.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
But if you're gonna live by, you know, saying
I also, just to piggyback on what you were saying, like, think about Gandhi, the world's, you know, biggest, most well-known, most famous pacifist. Even he wouldn't condemn Hamas. I like to say that just because, you know, he even understood that when you're facing annihilation, you know, when you're some quote of like, lest you have your homes be burned and looted, like you should do everything that you can to struggle by any available means necessary against, you know, your own, you know, ethnic cleansing, whether it be or just complete annihilation. And I feel like that's what, you know, the Palestinians are up against, and that's what the Jews were up against in the Holocaust. You know, that's what slaves were up against in slavery, and now in this fascist police state,
like people don't like people like, oh, why black people in gangs? Like, black people in gangs go back, and we wasn't always murder, kill, sell drugs. This is what the CIA and the FBI has put in us, you know what I'm saying? They has put us against each other, because there was a time when the Crips and the Bloods, like,
that's
even,
right.
Like, even to this day, I got, you know, Bloods in my care party. I have a political party of my own. I have Bloods in my party. I have Crips in my party. I have people that's vice lords, GDs. Right. We all live in these neighborhoods. We all are different tribes of people, yes, but we all need the same damn things. We need to come together and do something that's different. Police our own neighborhoods, feed our own people, and now we have, you know, we gather up enough money and stuff like that. We started a library. We got programs for the homeless, programs for the children. We do diaper giveaways.
That's awesome.
You know, this is what we do. You know, and it's gonna take a village, and yes, we're gonna have different tribes. It's gonna take more than one village, and we might have different tribes amongst those villages, but we all need those same damn things. We all need clean water. We all need better education for our children, whatever it may be. And just because you are from a different family, you were jumped into a different gang, I shouldn't look at you as an opposition. I should look at you and say, okay, well, how can we put our differences aside? How can we come together and make our communities better, you know? And that's what I'm working on in Detroit right now. And that's awesome. One of the biggest reasons why Detroit police hate my ass, because I got the Crips and the Bloods that actually work together for once again around on 6 Mile, you know, and they actually see it's like, we're not shy about it, you know. You see us together, it's like, what the fuck? You see Bloods and Crips together, and they repping they got their colors on, whatever the fuck it may be, but you will see them niggas doing a roof. You know, and you just don't want that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that they don't want. You know what I'm saying? You see,
of course not.
You know what I'm saying? You see VDs, VLs, and GDs handing out water in a fucking Flint, and I got the pictures to prove it. All on the website.
Yeah,
we throwing up our set, handing out water. You know.
Yeah.
They just don't like that shit, and this is what we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to the roots of why gangs were needed in the first place. Was because of the police, was because of the government, you know, was because of you know, just these obstacles put in our place.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what, you know, oppression does to people. It forces, like you say, different gangs, or if you're in Yemen, it's different tribes. They're forced to congregate and come together because they're facing the same oppression. They're facing the same, you know, living conditions. And, you know, it's so racist. It's the same form of racism I see, is like saying that black people must be prone to gangs and violence, like brown people in the Middle East must be prone to terrorism. And you're absolutely right. These people are pushed. You know, black people, brown people, these people are pushed to violently resist. Like, what
else you gonna do? Like,
yeah, you know, nobody wants to wake up and go die for the state, or go die for country, or, you know, die for their freedom. Like, people just want their fucking human rights, you know, give them their human rights. And that's what I feel like I have to keep going back to when people want to condemn Hamas. It's like, you don't have any ground to stand on. You give people their human rights, and then you can, you know, judge them on their social or cultural issues. Or, you know, last I remember that, you know, electing a democratically elected government is not a war crime. It doesn't give you a right to go bomb that country just because you don't like the people that they elected. You know,
if that's the case, we should have been bombed 20 times to fuck over.
Sure. Oh yeah, we need it more than anybody.
And I tell Americans, don't cry when the shoe is on the other foot, because you guys feel like, oh well, we are sitting in the middle of the fucking world and all this water we're surrounded. Blah. You don't understand. This is why the government fights so hard to keep us undereducated, because you guys don't understand the technology that is bewildered today. You don't understand the technology that these people are working with today. They have drones that can reach us, that can go under our radars. They can hit us at any time. But we see you guys churn on death. I seen it. You know, even in some of my family members or close families, you know, I have to check these niggas like, bro, what happens when the shoe is on the other foot? Oh, it's not gonna, you don't, okay.
They're gonna come for you too.
We kill the civilians, they kill ours. And I swear, you motherfuckers gonna cry foul. I swear these Americans gonna cry foul. Oh, they killed us. They killed all our people. Blah blah. And let it be somebody like China or Russia or somebody who really can fight against us.
Really
they actually showing that they're gonna beat they can beat our asses. That they are wiping out the people, the ground game. They blowing up our fucking Navy. They're gonna see this outcome and they're gonna cry foul. But it's gonna be too fucking late, because you wanted civilians dead. Nobody said it had to be their civilians.
Yep.
It can be you at any fucking day. So that's why I say, if you don't stand up for nothing,
they're gonna come for you too. Down. Yeah. It's the hypocrisy of it. It's just there's no defense of this. And yeah, you're right. It's good. We're gonna pay dearly for this shit, especially white people.
I just saw a tweet not too long ago that said, aren't white people tired of being terrorists? I was like, damn.
I mean, for real. That's our, you know, that's literally our number one foreign policy across the world, domestically and across the world.
No. It's the motherfuckers over there. They don't like us because of our freedoms. Like what freedoms? Like y'all niggas can't even. I get it. Oh my God. I remember I was in, what is this? Why do I feel like Boston is in the South? So many fucking rednecks. I'm in Boston. I'm like, y'all don't even have the fucking y'all don't even have the freedom of travel. Go travel through New York. Travel to Michigan. How many tolls you about to pay? How many tolls you gonna pay? You don't even have the fucking freedom of travel. Shut the fuck up.
What kind of freedom are you? What kind of freedom? The freedom to be exploited by corporations is your freedom. The right to be exploited.
Owning your corporations, buying up your public land, buying up your public roads, and charging you to drive on them, and you still pay taxes to keep those up.
Yeah, you're getting grifted. I mean, that's what the funny part is. They don't see that they're being grifted. They just think, all government is bad. What can you do without actually, we're the baddies. Somebody says. We're completely controlled by people don't understand that the capitalists have captured the government. I'll say it again, but the whole the whole idea that people just these brown people must just be prone to terrorism and they're evil. We gotta it's just like it's so silly.
Yeah, the propaganda is silly to us now, you know what I'm saying? But as a
as
somebody that's young, that's born into it, you got to think about like the military families and shit like that.
Yep.
Like people actually believe that shit. And I'll be talking to my friend, like I got a couple of friends that was in the military. One of them regretted. The other one, I had to really talk to him, like, bro, what did they do to you? You know what I'm saying? like fuck the West, bro.
Yeah.
What did they do to you?
Yeah.
As a black man, like I don't even know. I know, you know what I'm saying? Arabics get this, and don't get me wrong. There are racist Arabics. There are racist Asians, of course. I live in Michigan. We have one of the biggest populations. The biggest populations, Muslim population, Arab population. We have one of the biggest populations. I have been around these people my whole fucking life. I have never felt I was in danger. I lived in their neighborhoods. I have never felt in danger living in Hamtramck like I have felt when I lived across 8 Mile. When we lived in Hamtramck, we share plants. They grow food. They, you know what I'm saying? Even if they didn't like us, they were a community. You know what I'm saying? All the kids got along. If their lights get cut off, everybody going here, or they sharing, whatever the fuck it may be. It was a community. You move across 8 Mile. First of all, so you walk across 8 Mile, police on your ass automatically. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get detained automatically. Then you got to worry about your nosy neighbors. Then you got to worry about your racist neighbors. And it's just like, I don't see, I don't feel the propaganda that you are feeding me. I'm not full because what I'm feeling in real life is, like, damn, I wish I would have put up that TikTok. They said, it was like black women, would you rather, you in a room alone, would you rather a white man come in or a white woman?
Or bear. Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, it was a white man or white woman. Everybody said white man. And it's like, they really put you in danger there, man. I never felt I was in danger around these Arab communities, whether it be Dearborn or, but the racism is there. Some people really fall for it, like, they don't like black people. Like, who the fuck do like black people? Like, let's keep it real. It's only select a few out of all these groups that actually like black people. You can't just say, oh, we shouldn't fight for them because they don't like. Who the fuck like black people?
Right. I see your point. Yeah.
And if I was to fucking only fight for niggas who only like black people, shit.
Oh my God. Yeah. You'd be fighting for nobody, right? I mean, it's like, yeah. And I recently went to the Middle East, and it's like these people are fucking accepting, they're peaceful. Like, you guys, like, there's just this crazy sick xenophobia that is fomenting in the West about the eastern part of the world, like it's just a lawless place. It's like, it's all projection. I mean, the United States try not to project its crimes onto the victims. Right. Challenge impossible. But, why don't we ever associate the CIA as being a terrorist organization? Why is it Hamas? Why is it the third world armed resistance groups trying to fight back, who are deprived of their human rights, facing annihilation? Oh, no, those people are the terrorists because they're upsetting the privileged social relations of the ruling class and the moneyed, corporate class and what they want. But that's peace and stability. We're enforcing democracy. It's democracy promotion when we use terrorism. When we bomb Gaza to smithereens, that's just us. Israel has the right to self-defense.
They know that's some bullshit. They know that's some bullshit because that's why they have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, because they want it to become, they need it to become true. You know what I'm saying? They know there's no self-defense. Like I have said on the show before, if I'm fighting a nigga in sandals, you know what I'm saying? I got tanks, Patriot missiles. You know what I'm saying? This nigga got an RPG. He don't even have a fucking uniform.
He's got a hang glider and a bulldozer.
I had to fly and take a boat here. But this nigga the terrorist.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. These people don't have a fucking army. They don't have military bases.
If they did, Israel would have been wiped the fuck out. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think if they would have actually had a commands and all, you know what I'm saying, they would have put people in place to actually get rid of BB and all of these fucking high-ranking officials that's actually calling for the genocide. They would have had spies. They would have had people working for them in the IDF, people working for them in the IOF.
Yeah, right. You don't see any of that. No.
At the very least, we would see we do see some friendly fire, so we might, or it might just be them killing each other because they're just crazy. But
yeah, the Israelis, they're instructed to mow down their own citizens or civilians that are captured because they don't want the hostage liability. That's called the Hannibal Directive, if I remember correctly. But it's just absolutely absurd. I mean, these people are not allowed to organize a society. They're not allowed to have a military. They're not allowed to have infrastructure. They're not allowed to have a fucking healthcare system or an education system, like much less a military. People want to point to the fact that they don't have. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like just the fact that just the fact that people are like, oh, they don't have any military bases in Gaza. That's it's because they want to use their own civilians as human shields. It's like, think for one fucking second. Do you think Israel, the occupying power in the Gaza Strip, is going to allow its opposition to have military bases? Like, the whole point is that they don't have the right to self-determine. You numbnuts is what I want to say.
That's what I be asking Americans. I'm like, okay, so you guys don't want them to have no power in their own land, but then you turn around and say this is a third world country.
Yes,
like
they're literally legally labeled as like the worst humanitarian crisis on earth right now, and yet we're supposed to believe that they're omnipotent. They infiltrated every global institution that could possibly be. They're
brainwashing our children through TikTok.
Yeah, they've installed their campus proxies on college campuses, and now they're infiltrating our education system. It's just absolutely. This is like part of going back to our beginning of our conversation, the Red Scare propaganda.
Yes.
This is what they've been talking. This is like McCarthyism.
I'm just getting my shit together,
Yeah,
we so poor. I got a king size bed, and I still sleep on the down floor, man. That's I just can't.
You're just not used to it, or what? You got to get in the king size bed. It's good. It'll help.
It's too soft. It's too soft.
Oh, it's too soft. You want that.
My girlfriend love it though. My girlfriend love it. Her bed, so I ain't mad at her. I'm like, shoot, I sleep in it from time to time, but when my back starts,
more for her than. Oh yeah, that's true. It's probably not too good on your back after some time, but.
Oh yeah. I got ran over when I was about 4. I got ran over, so it's took a toll.
By a car?
By a van.
Holy shit!
One of them vans that your uncle got. Uncle began there. All the girls pregnant in the neighborhood.
A windowless van
with the TV in the middle.
Creepy. Oh yeah. Oh my god. My uncle was a creeper apparently.
Oh,
for him. No, but that's wild. How are you still alive?
I don't fucking know. I think I did die that day.
Shit.
I had some brain damage.
No way, dude. How old were you?
I was about 4. That was a long time ago. That shit hurt.
You're. I mean, do you have any memories of it?
Yeah, hell yeah, I remember. And you know why I got ran over? Because I was following my sister. Because this one, Hot Cheetos first came out, or it was like first getting hot, and I was like, I want some, and I tried to follow her across the street, and the car just like boom. Man,
that was old getting hit by a fucking van, dude. You're lucky to be alive.
And the dude was a fucking preacher. He got out. My mom was talking about he got out praying and shit. And like,
oh god.
Hospital. So rush me to the damn hospital. I'm like, man.
That's why you're an atheist. You got ran over by a preacher. Like, fuck religion.
It's like, I already died. I didn't even see shit. It's like, I died. I was just sleep. No, you wasn't sleep. Yo,
I'm an atheist, but that's because I was raised Catholic.
Yeah, I was raised Baptist, of course.
Yeah, of course. I have family that's Baptist as well.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm so atheist, man. I grew up resenting religion so much. The actual library that I have is my mother's old church. It's my mother's. It's my.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's good. You're switching the literature up to be away from propaganda, miracle books, and more on material reality.
Actually helping the community with it,
Yes, exactly.
I was like, I hate going to church. I swear I'm gonna get my fucking payback because it always. Okay, you ain't gotta go to church, but you gotta get out of my house. I'm like, oh mother, no, I ain't got nowhere to go. Everybody else in church, my cousins in church, can't walk around, ain't got no money. I'm sitting here and everybody get $1 to put in the tie. I'm like, man, I should steal some shit to get kicked out of here.
You're like grabbing from the plate and like
I'm gonna get my payback. Y'all don't know it. And when he put the building up for sale, I was like,
yeah.
Everybody was like, no, because everybody know I'm an atheist. He's like, no, he's gonna open up some fucking bar or some weed spot.
Strip club.
No, I'm opening up a library. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just opening up a library. It's gonna be a community center. You learn how to do your taxes, cut hair, wood shop class, a little bit of community.
That's so cool, dude. That's so cool. That's inspiring. I'm happy that you were able to do that, especially it being a church, and now you like converted it into something that was actually helpful to the community. Yeah. Not divisive.
That was the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, I got my payback. I don't care.
I just hope Karl Marx is in that library somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, I got. Oh yeah. Oh man.
We need some communist propaganda in that library for sure.
Oh yes, we got all the books. Basically, most of the books, 90% of the books is based around socialism, communism. You know,
cool.
You know, it's the whole thing. The whole thing is communism. Of course, I'm gonna put up pictures of revolutionaries. You know, from black revolutionaries, white. You know what I'm saying? Russian. All of them gonna go up. It's gonna be propaganda. As soon as you walk in, you're gonna get hit with propaganda, and they're gonna be like, "Who is these people? Who is those people?" Because that'd be the main things. Americans, they know about the people, but they don't know the people actually fought for them. So when I say, you know, I'm a socialist like Fred Hampton, or I'm a Marxist like Fred Hampton, they're like, Fred Hampton was a Marxist, like, you know what I'm saying, or I preach socialism like, you know, like how Malcolm X did for black people. They'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
Malcolm X, socialism. Like, what the, like y'all don't know these things? And now we get to go down this fucking trail of, you know, your leaders were actually Marxists. And they like, well, I can't believe this. But it's so beautiful.
That's good. Yeah. You know, it gets something, because socialism and communism, let's face it, are scare words. I mean, I feel that too, like where I'm trying to get people past that hump of like, don't be afraid of these words. You're heavily indoctrinated by Cold War propaganda. It's what we've been living under. So, you know, I knew to hate Karl Marx even before I knew what communism was. You know, just revile him, and I didn't even know what he stood for. I just knew that I was supposed to not like him.
Not like him. Don't even listen to him. Don't even if you hear the word Marx, don't even let it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why. Like I remember all them old posters. You know, Negroes stay away from the communists. Black people stay away from the communists and shit like that. That shit's just. I'm like, why? Why? What the fuck is they gonna say? What the fuck do they have to say that's gonna make me like, And as I talk to them, they I'm like,
right?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I see. Yep. Yeah, there's a reason why the United States like reviles and, you know, vilifies communism, because that's the one thing that could take it down. You know, that's the one way of organizing society that is directly in confrontation with the way that capitalists organize their society.
Yeah, everybody subscribe to this man. I'm gonna try to get him on. Maybe we can get him on a little bit more. Maybe I can help him set up a YouTube for him, because this dude, he's going places. He needs to be heard. I think if we can help him, if we can help push him, let's help get him past how many followers you got on TikTok on Twitter now?
I just got to 10K.
So, I was just about to say we got to get at least you to 10K. So let's get him to 11K,
20K.
For everybody. Push this stream, push his watch his TikToks. He's very informative, very funny, very blunt. You know, you're gonna learn, you're gonna laugh, maybe even cry. Check him out. Thank you for coming once again, man.